What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZBCN, Zebec today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 30th of April, and I had no idea that ZBCN was on such a tear this week, man. It's been doing really well for itself. Sure, you dropped a lot, gave everybody a scare for a moment there, but from a low to a high, man, you pumped 108% in about like a week and a half's time there. Beautiful move. Yes, you had a bit of a drop yesterday, 13% to the downside. A lot of cryptos did. It's fine. Bitcoin's likely on the way up, man. I mean, you're going to recover alongside with the rest of the market. You're finding resistance here at a prior area of resistance. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect, right? Literally right there. Prior support, prior resistance, resistance here, resistance there, resistance there, resistance everywhere. A very key area, it seems, right? So whenever you get above this, do expect some spectacular things to happen, right? I think that this, if you consider this to be a blemish and that everything else has just been held down in this area, you're in a very nice horizontal consolidating phase. I think that getting above 00146 is going to be a big deal. I think getting above there will be a very big deal. And ideally getting a week, I think, to close above, let's probably say, I would say getting a week to close above here, probably about 1.41 cents. Maybe let's see. Let's throw a fib on there first. Hold on real quick. Let's see how to low. 1.4 cents. Yeah, getting above 1.4 cents on a weekly close would be a big deal. Getting price a daily close or higher to get above about 1.46 cents would be a very big deal. 1.5 cents, whatever you want to say. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying cents, but it's not cents actually. It's 0.001. So anytime I've said cents recently, I meant like a tenth of that, right? Anyways, looking at this here from a relative high to low, the expectation would be that whenever you do inevitably break out to the upside, that you would see targets at a minimum that accompany your all-time highs, your current all-time highs, if not potentially something that is at new all-time highs and even beyond that, right? ZBCN has a very low market cap. Right here, ZBCN. You've got, if it'll load, a $92.5 million market cap, 9.6 million in 24-hour volume. That's nice, a little bit above 10%. That's good to see, even on a red day. Even on a red day, especially on green days, though, right? Let's see if we have something with volume. Hold on, real quick. Would it be Bybit? Do we want does Bybit? No, maybe not. We could use Blowfin. Let's see. Blowfin. Well, no, all the volume is gone, so maybe that volume isn't as reliable. That's okay. What about KuCoin? KuCoin's got good. There we go. So yeah, while you did have a lot of volume yesterday, you had a lot more volume on the way up. So 10% in the past 24 hours is nice, even on the way down. But you definitely had nicer volume on the way up, which is good to see. That's encouraging. That's what you want to see. From here being at 0.0012 cents, the question might come to mind, how much lower can we go? Are we going lower? Are we going higher? When is all that going to happen? So let's look and see if we can figure this out. You know, on a 4-hour basis, I don't really know if I want all these indicators on here. Just the RSI will do here. On a 4-hour basis, the RSI does look to be at an area that would bounce. It actually does look nice, right? You've bounced off this area recently. You've bounced off it before. You've bounced off it before back here. I mean, it seems like a nice area to bounce right here at the 50. If we're looking at the relative low to the relative high, you are below your 236. My opinion would be, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I doubt you bounce here. Let me see what you did back here. You didn't quite hit your 382 there either, though. I mean, it's possible. The only reason it's possible is because you did this exact same thing last time, so maybe. What about the 1-hour time frame? The 1-hour kind of looks sad, but there's hope. You're bouncing off the 40 area. You kind of did the same thing back here. I'm not getting positive readings. So what we're going to do is if then, okay? If then. If you can get 2 4-hour candles in a row to close above 0.001234, that should be easy to remember. 2 4-hour candles in a row, not just one, but 2 4-hour candles in a row to close above this line, ideally like this one or higher, then good, you're moving up. If not, if you don't do that, then my assumption would be, if you see the RSI below the 50, and my RSI is set to a 10, okay, so like if you go to the length, the input, it's a 10, not a 14. We work with 10s here, okay? Looking at this here, sorry guys, I just drew a blank. If the RSI goes below the 50, if we see the RSI go below the 50, then likely we will in fact go down to about 0.0011 or maybe even below that. It's very common with the 382 to not stop at the 382 for support, but to go a little bit below it, wick below it, and then close back above it when working your way higher, right? So keep that in mind. If we see the RSI, the 4-hour RSI below the 50, which would require one candle to close, probably around like 0.0012 or lower. If we see that happen, we'll close below the 50. Likely 0.0011 becomes inevitable at that point, okay? If we close a little bit below the 50, I don't know if that's enough, right? We want, just like if we close a little bit above the 236, that's not enough. I want to see something that's more of like a breakthrough, right? If we do something like this, I suppose there's still hope. But if you make a sizable move down, there's no hope. There you go. Bye-bye. Right? And it's not bye-bye forever, right? It's just a momentary consolidation phase. Maybe you hit the 382, maybe you go down to the 0.5 or even down to the golden ratio. You could go all the way back down to 3. You guys, you could take out a 0. You could literally go down to 3 zeros, 8 and still be fine, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't think any of that happens. I actually think that you're more likely to move up just based on what we've seen here before. But giving some if-thans because I don't think it's enough to be completely conclusive. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, again, it's a little bit bearish, but we've been down in this kind of area before, and that it was unorthodox, it was unconventional, but it still worked out in your favor. And sometimes that's all that you need, man. Sometimes you have charts that are just unorthodox and they don't follow the rules so much. And oftentimes, actually, those charts are in low liquid, low market cap coins or stocks. So that could definitely be this. You tend to form more common structure, not common, but what's the word I'm looking for? I guess common's a good one. General. You respect the rules a little bit more the bigger you get. That's just kind of how it is with assets most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. What are the rules? I don't know, man. We're all figuring it out day by day, aren't we? Whatever those rules are. But yeah, looking on a weekly basis, you guys, Zebec looks like it's in really good shape here. Definitely looks to be an accumulative phase here. I think that this right here, this blemish was a foreshadowing of the things to come. Sometimes you see that, right, in these horizontal patterns. You'll get a fake out, but those fake outs are actually just like foreshadowings of the inevitable breakout, which direction you're going to go. Not always, but that's kind of how I'm interpreting it this time. You got overbought. You're pretty damn bullish on the weekly RSI, looking like you're building here. I think that your next attempt into the overbought zone will be a real one. You won't just get overbought and then reject. You'll likely actually live inside of the overbought zone. And with that, you'll get some real separation here. This is something I wanted to talk about, was where do I think this thing's going to go by the end of June, probably by the end of June. Yeah, by the end of June, if not early July. ZBCN being at a $92.5 million market cap has a very high amount of potential for growth. Let's see here. From the current price of 0.001217, it really wouldn't surprise me if at a bare minimum you're at about half a cent, 0.006. Right. The reason why I like that is because that's about what I would expect the average coin to do in this time. So something around there, 0.006 sounds about right. At a minimum. If not 0.0088, that's about a 7x. And actually, you wouldn't stop at the 272, you'd go just above there. So maybe something on the lines of an 8x. The 2618 is a possibility, and that's all the way up at 1.3 cents itself, and that would be about a 10x there, 10.7x. And it's absolutely possible that ZBCN could see prices in the money zone at about 1.7 to 2.2 cents. That would give you about an 18.5x to a 14x altogether. It's also possible, because ZBCN doesn't really have that much of a history, and what history it does have is just accumulative. It's just moving sideways, not doing anything. It's very possible that you have a lot of aggression built up in you, and that you see something that's truly spectacular, something that's fantastic, and you see prices that are dramatically higher than anything that I've talked about. Maybe you move all the way up to 4 cents or 5 cents. You never know. And it might seem crazy, but the coins that have these kind of market caps are the ones that do these kind of crazy things. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. Who knows? Again, you could, at a minimum, get something that's at 0.006. But if I really had to guess where you're going to go, I like the odds of something that's around about a cent. I like that. Maybe just below a cent, if not just above a cent. I doubt you get to 2 cents or more, but I wouldn't bet against it. I definitely, if someone's like, okay, you doubt it, bet me then. I would not bet against it, because it could happen. It's coins like this that happens. But the only reason why I say I doubt, the only reason why I'm hesitant to be more suggestive of these prices is that I don't know what we're dealing with, right? I don't know. Maybe you know, maybe other people know, but I don't know what we're dealing with here, right? It's too new for me to really decide, right? But time will tell. And in these kind of environments, it might be the fundamentals that tell you more of what you're dealing with than the price could tell you. But in time, we'll find out one way or another. So I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.